Good morning, Stampin' friends. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I was doing a little bit of prep, getting ready for you guys. So hello, hello, hello. Happy hump day, y'all. So glad you were coming on and hanging out with me for What's Up Wednesday today. I am here live on Jody Brechbill Stampin' Queen. This is my Facebook page. I'm live every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So look at y'all guys coming. Good morning, good morning. All right, got some coffee. All right, how's the weather where you guys are, friends? How's the weather? It's a little crisp here in South Central Pennsylvania. I saw some Minnesota friends. I saw some Oregon friends. So I have to have a feeling it's a little crisp where you guys are as well. So, hello, hello. Oh, then the Florida girls are on just to make us all jealous. Good morning, Florida friends. How's the weather where you guys are? I'm sure it's horrible. Warming up in Texas. Okay, good to hear, good to hear. Yesterday morning, I went out and ran some errands, and my car, this is after I had been on the road a little bit, my car registered that it was 17 degrees yesterday morning, and I'm pretty sure it was 12 overnight. So that's a little bit clear. Oh, 36, Betty, daggone. Heat wave in Oregon. Oh, my Lanta. Well, you know, it is winter in Pennsylvania. This is what happens. And yeah, it was definitely 17 degrees. And my besties are in Florida. They go to Florida for the winter. And they said it was chilly in Florida yesterday. It was 57. So boo-hoo. I felt so sorry for them. 57, you can still sit on the beach, right? All right. Anyway, let's get started with some stamping, shall we? I'm so glad to have you guys on here. And don't forget, just a shameless plug for myself, you can shop anytime, jodybrechbill.stampinup.net. You can head over to my online store and you can place an order anytime. This is the host code for January. Now, keep in mind, you guys, if your order reaches $150, you don't want to use that host code. You want to be a host. You want to get free stuff. So just keep that in mind. I also know some of y'all don't like to shop online, and that's totally cool. Hit me up through my email and I can help you out. Oh, you got your Blackberry card kit yesterday. Awesome, Susan. Let me know if you have any questions or any concerns. I'm always happy to help you guys out. So we are gonna play today from our mini catalog, and we are focusing on this gorgeous bundle here called Daffodil Daydream. So we're gonna play with Daffodil Daydream. I shared the designer series paper, the coordinating DSP, at Daffodil Afternoon, I believe it's called, and it is a celebration item. I showcased that in my YouTube video on Monday. And well, let me just show it to you. I got it right here. Let's just see what it looks like in real life. Because I will tell you, kids, you know, full honesty, this is not my favorite piece. But I did some cool things with it. And so I do like this one now. And so if there's always a designer paper pattern that I'm not thrilled with, I usually do like the other side. It's usually a little bit less busy. So this is a freebie during celebration. It is a 12 by 12 pack. I cut it down, makes it easier to show you guys on the video. Love this one here. And I know some of you guys are the March babies. So March babies, if you are out there, we know that this is our flower of the month. So I am a March baby. So daffodils kind of are a thing for me. And so I know a lot of you guys are March babies as well. So let me also show you this bundle because it's a little overwhelming. Love, love, love the stamp set. Learning to love the dies. Of course, we've got the dies that will cut out the stamps, the stamped images, but then we have the daffodil builder, right? So you can build daffodils using this die set. So I am going to show you just a flower. I didn't go hog wild. Last night it was about 11 o'clock when I was done playing with my daffodils, as my niece would call them, daffodils. And so I did play with them a little bit. All right, so what else do we have going on while friends are coming in? Let's just talk real quick. Pampered Stamper Retreats are coming in 2022. This is my friend Connie and I. We host in-person retreats here we are moving. We are moving to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. We had some issues with our venue in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and we found an amazing camp called Rhodes Grove. It is in Chambersburg. If you guys are close or local, or heck, if you want to fly in and come hang out with us, we would love it. But we do offer retreats to go because we know some of you guys are our long distance friends. So you can get a retreat in the box. Registration's open for this now through January 31st, and the registration will be in the description of this video. So when these videos are done, you can hop back into my page, pull it up, and you can see any registration links of whatever I talked about, as well as dimensions for the cards, so that you can make them at home without having to re-watch and hear me drone on and on. Real quick, I want to let you know that this is our sneaky peek at our paper pumpkin coming up. So paper pumpkin for February, called Safari Celebration. It is kind of a celebratory kit with 9 cards. And it looks like I saw this funky little animal here, which I'm thinking is a gazelle. There's an elephant, and I saw a monkey in the sneak peeks as well. So I think that's going to be some cute cards. Shout out, guys, real quick, if you're a paper pumpkin lover, even if you're a subscriber, you can grab prepaid subscriptions during celebration and get free celebration items with that prepaid paper pumpkin. So if that is something you're interested in, hit me up. We can chat more about that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see what else I have here. First of all, right, let's clear the air. We got Prize Patrol. We have Prize Patrol. So congratulations to Miss Thelma. Thelma, are you on yet? I don't know if I've seen you come up and say hello. So Miss Thelma, this is yours, the wonderful gems. I will get those out to you shortly. And then today's Prize Patrol is going to be the gingerbread and peppermint acrylic shapes. Very cool, Susan. Yeah, that was my first thought too with that paper pumpkin, is it looks perfect for kids, either to create the cards or to send to them. I think that looks like a lot of fun. So all you guys need to do is like, love, comment, or sprinkle my vid around, and come back next week and see who the winner chicken dinner is. Here's a sneaky peek of those. They make some really cute guts for your shaker cards. So I did a lot of Christmas shaker cards with these. Or the faker shaker, right? You guys know what faker shakers are. The ones where we use the clear envelopes. All right, so Prize Patrol out of the way. Real quick, before we really get rolling with these daffodils, is that I want to make sure you guys are aware there's only a couple more days to take advantage of this free class. So my friend Connie and I are offering this as our free January class at home. You do get the stamp set. You can include the stamp set in with your registration. You're going to get a one-sheet wonder class, 8 cards, everything you need to make them. Stamp set, you can add that for free with your $50 purchase through January 15th. So a lot of you guys took advantage of it, so thank you. This is a stamp set that is no longer available. You cannot get the stamp set anymore. It was a host offering during celebration last year, and we had some extra, and we decided we would send them on your way for free with your $50 purchase. So not only do you get the class, you can add in the stamp set if you don't already have it, order your $50 and get a celebration item, kids. That's win-win, right? So One Sheet Wonder will do a quick tutorial to show you how to get the max out of your DSP. One piece of designer paper made all of these cards. Is that awesome or what? I love One Sheet Wonders, and I love cutting up my paper. I know some of you guys don't, but I do. Now keep in mind, your card may look different. It's going to be a black and white with a pop of color, just determined by the color of the DSP that you get. So you might have Misty Moonlight, or you might have Just Jade, or you might have Crushed Curry. So your card bases will be black, white, and a pop of color. Even a little bit of a surprise. Alrighty. Then I'm going to tell you guys, I have a sneak peek. I don't want to say a sneak peek. I have a special offer. I have a very special Valentine framed art piece. And I'm not going to show it here because I'm only giving it for absolutely free, the PDF instructions, to the people who are in my mailing list. So if you guys are not a part of my mailing list, you want to make sure that you do register, sign up, because I'm going to send out a free tutorial, a free PDF tutorial to make a very, very cute Valentine framed art piece. It's a 9x9, but you can turn it into a 12x12 should you choose. And I know a lot of you guys like framed art. I don't have any more time to get this in my classes, but I thought, you know what? It's time for love, and I want to share my love and my appreciation for you guys. So I'm going to give you a free PDF tutorial for that. So make sure, again, hop into my mailing list. The link will be in the description of this video. So if you're already in my mailing list, you're good to go. You're golden, kids. You're going to get that. It's going to come automatically to the folks in my mailing list. If you're not, hook yourself up, and then I will send that out to you guys. All right? So daffodils, it's time. Let me make some room. Okay, now I'm hoping I have everything that I need today, but you never know. You never know. Okay, I try really hard to be prepared, but sometimes it just don't happen, right? All right, so we're gonna start off, and again, we're focusing on Daffodil Daydream, and I have a piece of Sahara Sand. So I'm going off topic a little bit on this one because mostly I was working in the greens and the yellows because, you know, daffodils, right? They're green, yellow, little orange, little pink. And so I'm gonna go off topic with this one, and we're gonna go with Sahara Sand and Blackberry Bliss. So we're gonna start off easy peasy mac and cheesy. So I got a 4 1/4 by 11 piece, gonna fold that in half. My Blackberry Bliss, let's make sure everything lines up, and then another piece of Sahara Sand. Good morning, friends who are just coming on. Hello, and you are so welcome, Betty, so welcome. I am going to do a sneaky peek, so I will show it over at on my Facebook group. So I'm shamelessly plugging myself today, but I don't want you guys to miss out. So if you guys are not part of my special Facebook group, head over there. Stamp with Jody B. That's my Facebook group. Right now, you guys are hanging out on my Facebook business page. That's Stampin' Queen. Okay, I know it can get confusing. Facebook is like that. So hop over there. I'm going to share a sneaky peek. Keep plugging. Thanks, Susan. So hop over to Stamp with Jody B. I'm going to share the link that you need for the mailing list, as well as a sneaky peek of that framed art class. So head over there and then make sure, and then it's going to go out via email. So if you don't get it, like if you don't get it by Monday, let's say Monday, if you guys don't get it by Monday, message me. Okay, I want to make sure you guys do not miss out because I know so many of you guys love doing framed art. So how about this one? Who has this one and hasn't used it yet? Raise my hand. I have a little bit, but I had high hopes for it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use this all the time. And I totally forget about it. So we've got watercolor shapes. I grabbed that rectangle and I'm going to ink that baby up with some Sahara Sand. Oh my goodness, it's got dog hair on it. Breckenridge, why are you putting your dog hair on my stamps? Those photopolymer stamps especially. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just stamp ourselves a rectangle off center a little bit. Oh, Susan raised her hand. All right, girl, get this out. Now, there you go. So, super cool idea though. If you do not have this particular stamp, just ink up your block. You guys, have you done this before? Have you actually inked up your block and used it as a stamp? You can totally do that. So all you would do is ink, ink, ink. You can spritz it with a little bit of water if you want it to be a little watercolory looking, and then just use your block as a stamp. Very cool. But I do have it, so I'm gonna use it. Now, I'm gonna stamp my sentiment in Blackberry, and I chose this one because this card needs to go to someone who has a celebration. So there we go. And this one is Happy and Heartfelt. Love this stamp set. Such cool fonts. Now, I'm going to grab my, let me back up one second. I see you, Lori. I saw you today. So yeah, you are totally on my Facebook group. So I did see you on there. So you've got it right, girl. I want to back up to this stamp. So you noticed I did put my squishy pad, or the Stampin' Pierce mat we call it. I did put that underneath. I found with this particular watercolor shapes, I needed to have something with some cushion underneath to get that image to come out. Otherwise, I was kind of getting ghosty spots. So if you're struggling with this stamp, keep in mind it does have shading in it, but I had areas where it was not stamping at all. And so it just needed a little bit of cushion underneath. So I used the squishy pad. If you don't have a Pierce mat or a squishy pad, a mouse pad works. Sometimes even a magazine, something that has a little give to it. So back on track, kids. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew some little tips and tricks as you're trying to stamp. All right, we've got Blackberry Bliss and our Daffodil. And I'm just gonna stamp that right there, kind of hanging off that rectangle. Now, I think I would have rather had that go up a little bit higher, but it's gonna work for now. Keep in mind when I'm stamping, I'm looking through I'm looking through my phone, so sometimes I'm a little off. Sometimes I'm a little off, and it doesn't even matter that I'm looking through a camera or my phone lens. It just is what it is. Okay, so I'm missing an embossing folder. Do you see it? Found it. Okay, so good morning, Miss Deb. I am going to run this whole thing through the timber embossing folder. This was in the holiday mini catalog, and it is a carryover item. So even though it's not in a publication, we can still get it. I am going to just step back here and do it because it's a little bit easier than trying to bring that big boss up here in the midst of my mess. So, do you guys know on these embossing folders, you have a line, this line right across here, that's your straight edge. So if it is an embossing folder that it does matter if you are lined up, use your paper and line it up against that edge. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna run this through. So hold please. I'm back. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh my goodness, isn't that cool? Just a little bit of background behind there. Now the trick is you need to stamp first. So if you emboss first and then you try to stamp, your images are gonna kind of go in the grooves, and we don't want that. So let's attach this to our Blackberry piece. I am full of information today, you guys. Has it been a while since I talked to you? Because I feel like I'm talking very fast about lots of needless information. But when you run cardstock through the embossing folders, especially this one, it's what we call the 3D ones. And sometimes I shouldn't say sometimes, it does break down the fibers in the embossing folder. Be very, very careful with your adhesive, particularly if you're using seal. And I want to make sure that you're using light pressure because it can sometimes tear your cardstock, okay? So let's go ahead and just lightly, I'm just going to run that down across there. Seal Plus especially, it has the chance that because it's really, really strong, that it can tear your cardstock. So if it does, if it starts to peel up your cardstock, I just go backwards and I kind of unhook it a little bit, and then I'll start over in another area. Okay, so that is one thing that we deal with these really strong adhesives. We need strong adhesives. We like strong adhesives, but sometimes they can tear our paper a bit. So that's just a little tip and trick today. Tips and tricks with Jody. Linen thread. I'm going to do 2 pieces. Another one of my tricks is I don't want to waste my pretty ribbon on the back side of my cardstock. So instead of taking this and wrapping it around twice, so, you know, if I wanted to do this and wrap it around, I don't want to do that because look at that. I wasted all that on the back side. So what I do instead is I just take enough to cross the front, and then I'm going to tack it around the back side because no one will know except you guys. Oh, thank you, Lori. You know, Facebook Lives are fun. I love doing them. I love hanging out with you guys. I love that I got to meet you guys from all over the country and sometimes even the world. But when I'm here by myself in my studio and there's no one else here, I do know that I start to get a little verbal diarrhea, if you will. Like, I just start talking and then I think, you're talking too much, Jody, and you're talking too fast. All right, so there we go. And see, then I'm gonna put a little adhesive on those ends. There we go. And then we can add that to our card base. So it's different, right? It's different. It's not the bright, fresh colors that we were expecting with the daffodils, but I like it. Now, you could do very carefully, you could Wink of Stella, right? That would be pretty. I want to add some gems, right? Because everything's better with bling. So let me see if I can find my gems in my piles. Remember these? This is all I have left of those pretty metallic enamel dots. I have the funky green and it worked perfect. I used the gold, I used the copper. The funky green is left and I'm like, oh my goodness, they work perfect. So I'm just gonna put some of the funky green ones down here. All right, pick it up with your fingers when it doesn't work. Look, it worked perfect. Oh no, Mary. I'm glad, are you feeling better? I'm glad you're hanging out with us. I'm sorry to hear that you aren't well. But I hope you're feeling better and on the mend. All right, so there's a great thing to do with the funky green ones. I don't know what these colors are. I don't remember what the green would be out of the gold and the copper. All right, let's go ahead, and before I leave this card, I do want to put a little bow on here so we can finish this off. So I just have a piece of linen thread here and I just tied myself. Cute little bow. And there we are. Easy peasy mac and cheesy on that one, okay? And you wouldn't have to emboss it. So if you wanted to take a step back, stamps, ink, and paper, right guys? Stamps, ink, and paper. I did have, I'm gonna take a moment just to talk to you guys since I do have you on live. I wanna talk to you a little bit about the shipping crisis that we have going on. Because it's still a thing. And Stampin' Up is doing the best that they can. They did have supply chain talk with some of us as leaders, and I just thought I'm going to throw some information out to you guys as well. You guys know that it's a legit thing. They do expect that this possibly could go on through next summer. Okay, so 18 more months we may have issues. We do expect that this will really become a thing this summer. Okay, so not only are there like 50 to 100 ships in the West Coast port waiting to unload, there's 100,000 empty cargo containers that are blocking up everything with no place to go. There is the potential of a longshoreman strike coming again this summer. If you guys remember when that happened like eight or 9 years ago, and it's Chinese New Year. Okay, so that starts February 1st. So Stampin' Up! Has done a phenomenal job at launching this new catalog and launching Celebration and having stuff in stock. I thought it was going to be horrible, but not much is non-orderable at this time because they were so proactive last year and trying to get the stuff here to be able to have it. South Pacific is struggling terribly. If you follow any South Pacific demonstrators, they hardly have any Celebration items to offer. So, COVID and people not working is still, yeah, it's like a backlog, Betty. They're just having trouble. If there's 100,000 ship or 100,000 containers in your port and you're trying to bring ships in and get more off, nobody wants to take the empties, right? They're making more money when they're full. My husband just told me today that they're creating more cargo containers and they're charging like $70,000 per container. So anyway, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess, y'all. And we do expect that this will affect our annual catalog. So just wanted to tell you, because I think when Stampin' Up! Talks to me about the situation and I can wrap my head around it, it helps you guys able to wrap your head around it when we start to see some things that are non-orderable or that we can't get. And also, you know, in perspective, it's frustrating with stamping. The longshoreman strike could be a really big issue, Betty. That could really, really like send this down the tubes because we're already stuck. And apparently they asked for the contract to extend a year so that we can try and work through this, and it was denied. So we'll see what happens this summer with that. And, you know, it just gets messy. So if we send everybody goes away for Chinese New Year, they try to come back. If COVID is flaring up, they might not be able to get back into the factories to work. So the biggest thing that we have, you know, right now is we're seeing like food shortages. You know, I'll be able to deal with it. That's why my topic went off. I saw a squirrel because I talked about stamps, ink, and paper, right? We still have stamps, still have ink, we still have paper, so we can keep on crafting. Right, guys, we can keep on crafting. So even if we can't get a punch and it's not orderable for a couple months because of this hot mess in the world, we'll still keep on creating. I'm still going to be here live with you guys. I'm going to figure out how to still keep stamping with you guys. We have lots of stuff we can get out and still keep playing with. So that was a long roundabout to get my segue ready for the cards that everybody is in love with, the newest trend, the slimline card. You guys making slimline cards? Everybody's loving the slimlines. Okay, so slimline card, we're gonna create this one. Super cool because it does fit in, I think it's called an A10 envelope, or what we at my house call business envelopes. So this does fit in there. And even better, Stampin' Up! Has come out with slimline envelopes. You guys are welcome. I hope that makes sense. And when I have you guys on here, I feel like I have information to share with you guys so that it makes sense to you. So here are our slimline envelopes. We have soft succulent, smoky slate, and basic white. These are 15 in a pack. Slime line. Yes, we're now calling them that. We're making slime line cards today, you guys. All right, so what I did, because this is not a normal card for me, so in my head I don't automatically know dimensions like I do for these size cards that I've been making for 25 years. So I made myself a little template. Okay, so this is just junky old cardstock. I cut it. It is 8.5 by 7. All right, so that's 8.5 by 7, 3.5 inch score, which means your front now is going to be 8.5 by 3.5. Okay, and then you can work down from there. So, well, some of you guys haven't made slimlines yet. Let me tell you guys, I like slimlines because I like them as money holders. You could put cash in there, you know, $1, $20, $100. You can have lots of people sign them. So, but they suck up a lot of your card stock, right? So with these, you're going to get 2 out of every card. With these, you get 1 out of every card or every piece of cardstock. So it's not one I tend to gravitate to, but the fact that we now have envelopes makes me happy. Because yeah, you can use a business envelope from like Staples or whatever, but it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty like ours because look at our pretties. Yeah, man, we put a design inside. I'll post it, Betty, but here, I'll put it up again, your slime line card, but it will be posted in the description of this video. So I just made myself a little template and a Post-it, and then I stuck it right inside my slimline envelopes, and voila. So I like the fact that we've got pretty colors, and they have little designs inside. So let's make a slime line card. Let's do it. So I have got basic black, as I mentioned, 8.5 by 7, 3.5 inch score, and I'm just gonna fold that in half. Bada bing, bada boom. Piece of designer series paper from our Daffodils. You know, once one of your children starts calling something by a name, you can't stop calling it that, even when your children are big, right? So my niece always called them Daffodils, and so that's what we call them. And there's still funny things that my children said when they were little, and we still carry it with us. My son especially always had very interesting Aidenisms, and fortunately, I would usually make a Facebook post about it, and so memories come up, and it's awesome. I love it. One of his favorite things to eat for dinner was what he called meat and bone and meat and bone and meat and bone. That's what he would ask for dinner. And that is, in Aiden terms, ribs, barbecue ribs. Meat and bone and meat and bone and meat and bone. Okay, so I have this piece of basic white, got a piece of basic black. Use that heartfelt, and we're gonna have this be a congratulations card. So I just did my own memento black. So to save a little bit of time, I did stamp my daffodils, and I started coloring them with the blends ahead of time so that you guys don't have to watch me color. But I have a question for you. So I didn't finish. All right, got my nubbins here. And we're just gonna put some dimensionals on this. One in the middle for luck or sag. Don't want any sag. And that's just gonna go right here. Okay, so there's our slime line. Now, here's what I wanted to ask you about. So I took that daffodil, cut it out, colored with some blends. I want to add a little bit of extra on here. So I did use my old olive. I colored it in with light Daffodil Delight, but I'm not sure about this one right here. So it's a bud, obviously, but would it be yellow because it's the start of the daffodil, or is it still going to be green because like the leaf is around it? So I wasn't quite sure what color I should color that one. I felt like maybe there's where the leaf ends and this is now a yellow bud. So you chime in while I add some dark Daffodil Delight in here just for shading. So I just like to use what Stampin' Up! Gives me to create my shading. A mustache. I like it. I like it a lot. And you keep saying it, right? Even after your kids are like grown and out of the house, you'll keep saying their little cute things that they said. And then when you say it in like to other people, they look at you like maybe you're a little nutty. Like you're like, what do you mean? The other thing, my son, he was a foodie, right? He still is actually. He would always ask for apart eggs for breakfast and chicken without peel. So apart eggs would be scrambled eggs. Those were apart eggs. And then he would ask for chicken without peel, and that was like fried chicken without the skin. So we still say them around our house, you know, good old Aidenisms. Okay, everybody's thinking it's green, so let's do it to it, Mountain Dew. We're gonna make that. I like that idea too because it makes this little flower stand out a bit. So I'm gonna do its underneath with dark Old Olive. And then I'm gonna add light Old Olive. I like it. Yep, I like it, I like it. So what I did, like I said, guys, I just went and I added that dark and just kind of did some outline. Now what I'm gonna do is take light pumpkin pie and I'm just gonna do a little bit of orange in here just to make it stand out some more. Maybe I want dark pumpkin pie. Let's see what happens with that. It might stand out just a smidgy more. Yeah, I like that with the dark. So like I said, my son is a foodie. He messaged us Sunday night or Monday night. He was going to the store because they were having a sale on squid. Yes, this is my college son. He was all excited because there was a big sale on squid, and he was going to the store and picking up some squid. So he sent us a photo later of his dinner spread, which was homemade calamari and lamb gyros. That's what he made for him and his roommates. They just started back to classes on Monday. And so that was, he's a chef. He loves to cook. And his girlfriend better know how lucky she is, right? If you got a cooking man, you best know how lucky you are. Okay, so let's add some Pop-Tarts. And I'm gonna grab, I have some biddies right here, so I'm gonna put a little biddy right down there. In your world, that might be a mini dimensional. I call them biddies. If you hang out with me long enough, you're gonna have lots of names for things that are a little odd. Dimensionals right here. Look at that. Now, on this card, I did my black matte dots, right? On this one, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna just do that a little more crisp. I'm gonna get out one of my new favorite embellishments. These ones. Oh my, I love them. All right, so we're gonna do some brass butterflies. I'm gonna call them a bad word at some point. I'm gonna call them a bad word. I just know it. So there we go. There is our slimline cards with our gorgeous envelope. Oh, I was gonna stamp my daffodil on here, but I don't have a stamp cleaner and I don't wanna do it in Razzleberry. So there we go, and it fits perfect. So you can slimline without having to have the dies. We have some cool slimline dies. I have them, they just arrived. I haven't played yet, but you can make slimlines just with cardstock, right? Speaking of slimline, oh my gosh, they hardly fit on the screen. Ooh, Betty, that's a good question. Betty asked if this uses regular postage, and I honestly am assuming yes, because if you mailed a regular business envelope, like if you were returning a receipt or something like that, it's the same size. So, right, that's a regular postage. Anyone else know that exactly? But I would say this is a standard letter size envelope. Now, sometimes we get a little crazy with the thickness, right? So if I got that big bow on there, Susan says yes. Thanks, guys. Susan says yes. But still, same rules apply. If you start to add thick things to it, that could increase your postage just because of the bulk. So when you mail something, it needs to be 1/4 of an inch thick or smaller, because it has to go through that meter. That might be another question. Do they mail okay? Like, because they have to go through that mail thing, right? They kind of have to round. So I wonder if that matters. I don't know. I haven't mailed one yet. So, but yes, so there we go. There's the Mother's Day one with those butterflies and that daffodil paper. All right, do you guys want to hang out? I have one more to share with you. And that's focusing on the die cuts. All right, let's see. Oh dear. I might not have written my notes down to know what I'm doing with this one. So I did take a piece of designer series paper, and I do need to score it. And now when you're doing this one, this is a pocket card. So here it is. There's the pocket card. So there's your sentiment, comes out, slides in there. You do need to be cautious of the direction of your paper. Okay. Back to Lori. She had a question. This one right here, the Happy Mother's Day, it is actually in the daffodil set, right? So we got Happy Mother's Day, but this one, well, actually I'm going to use, this one has a Happy Mom Day. That is Happy and Heartfelt or Daffodil Daydream. So if you don't have a directional piece of paper, you're golden. You don't need to worry. So got myself a piece of DSP here, and that's going to flat back here. So I need to score it at 5.5 and 10. So I want to use the fat ball end, 5.5, and I want to score lightly. I don't want to tear that paper. And then 10. So now this one's going to fold. Nope, this one's going to fold this way. And I'll burnish that with my bone folder just to make it nice and crisp. And then this one is going to fold up. Okay, everybody with me? There we go. Now, on this card, I used the border, and I made a cool border die. This one I'm just going to let as is. I'm just going to make it flat. Now, one thing that I did was I did a little bit strip of adhesive right inside, because this card does not get, the only thing that's holding this card together is this ribbon, right? So I just put a little bit of adhesive right inside there, so that I could work with it a little bit. I'm going to glue this flapper down. Got my sentiment here, and I'm going to do Happy Mom Day on this one because I'm going to need some Mom Day cards here shortly. So we got Happy Mom Day. There we are. Gonna take a Flirty Flamingo blend and just pop that heart a little bit. Mount this onto a piece of basic black. And again, remember guys, I'll put the instructions into my video, so you can follow the instructions, and then that is just gonna slide right inside here, like a so. So as you can see, It's so narrow. You're not going to put any adhesive in here. We're just going to tie a piece of ribbon around it. I have pale papaya sheer ribbon, and that's what's actually going to hold this card closed. Also, another thing, I'm going to be totally clear. You guys know I am a good copier. I am such a good copier. So these ideas are not all my original ideas. So thankfully, there's tons of demonstrators who are amazingly creative. And I found this one when I was down the Pinterest rabbit hole last night at 11 p.m. I'm going to see if I can tie a bow. If I cannot, I may bail and do a knot. We'll see how the hands and the ribbon want to work today. Sometimes I had to have the farmer come in last night and put his finger in to hold that bow. You know, it's a beautiful thing, Betty, that we share. Like, that is the culture of stamping. I think that's the culture of paper crafting, is that it's, some people are creative, and I know friends of mine who have notebooks by their bed because ideas come to them in their sleep, and they'll get up and they'll create these gorgeous cards in the morning. And I'm like, God love ya. Like, when I sleep, like, I sleep, nothing comes in my head. And so it's just amazing that you have this group and this community of people that are happy, and I'm going to bail, happy and willing to share creativity with each other. And that's something that Stampin' Up! Fosters as well, you know, is that we're all here to share and love and play with stamps, ink, and paper. It's what brings us all together, right? Okay, this is getting ugly. Come on, guys, work with me here. I'm trying to use my scissors to hold it down, but let's see if I can just do it without. Maybe I can do it with my own hands. I was trying to simulate the farmer's fingers where he had to hold it for the bow. All right, it's upside down, but she's gonna work today, right? It's gonna be good enough. Good enough. All right, fuss, enough. Let's trim our edges where I roughed them up because I want to show you this flower, and you guys are probably like, get on with it, Brechbill. Let's move along. All right, so now this flower, oi, she's so pretty, but man, she's fussy. So all I did was the flower. It is fighting me, but it's pretty, right? Now, one thing you could do is maybe a little glue dot right underneath that, and that would make sure it doesn't slide on you. But the flower does sort of hold it together. So when you're doing the Daffodil, you need 2 of these and 2 of these. So ahead of time, these are cut out of Very Vanilla, and I made them stickers. You guys know to do that with these really crazy detailed things, right? Make a sticker out of them with the sticker sheets. And then they are just going to stick right on top of the fat ones that you cut out, or the solid ones, I guess I should call them. There we go. So with the daffodil, you could totally change this and have it be like white with yellow or white with orange, however daffodils come in the real world. Okay, stick these together. You aren't lying, Betty. It was definitely intimidating when I was putting this together. Then I have this piece. This is a daffodil. This is a different way that the daffodil would go, but I'm going to use it like it is the leaves. So I'm just going to cut this leaf off. Then this piece, and I cut this out with a sticky sheet as well. Green glue works. I'm not a fan of the thin line glue. I have it get stuck and plugged more than I don't. And so I like my sticker sheets. So this would go on like this. But when I looked at the flowers, it's only around the lid. And so I cut it off. I'm just going to snip these off and make it look like the paper. Thanks, Lori. Sometimes A blind squirrel finds a nut. I'm also a lefty. Any of you guys lefties out there? Sometimes things are just a little different for us when we are lefties. So my bow tying is different than some other people. Okay, so there we are with that. Now it's just a matter of putting together. So in the die set, there's long stems too. So you could add this flower to some stems if you wanted, but I'm just gonna use just the flower top. That was enough for me last night when I was playing. And so let me get my glue dots. Glue dots are your friend for sure with this one. Put a glue dot here. And I'm just going to put that right about here. And then we're gonna put that other one behind. I love glue dots. Please don't ever send them away. And it's gonna kind of hit right about there. Some glue dots here. And then we're gonna have them stick out the side like flowers. And then I think we're good. We can just add a couple dimensionals and get this puppy on our card, and then we are done. So I just wanna make sure to remind you guys, don't forget to follow my Facebook page. That way, you'll be notified whenever I do cool things. I'm gonna slide this knot over a little bit and go back after this video is over. In the description, you'll log out, log back in. In the description, you'll find the instructions, the dimensions, right? Okay, so there we did a happy mom, we did a yay for love. I thought that would be a cute one, maybe an anniversary or a wedding card. We did our slim lines. I have congratulations and big congratulations, so depending on how big your news is. And then we did our different color. So I'm gonna share a couple little things. There, we did that one, right? Another slim line. Let me show you what else I did last night while I was playing. I have an I love you with Flirty Flamingo and Pale Papaya. An Easter card, very, very simple. Easter blessings, and the Easter blessings is in the daffodil stamp set. I'm not sure you can see, but that daffodil is cut and popped up and winkered. So I've got it shimmery with Winkastella. Very quick use of designer series paper, another congratulations card. Mom's Day's coming up, happy Mom's Day. And that is the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP, that's free during celebration as well. Very quick one. I love that heart, happy and heartfelt. Love that, love that. And then of course another Easter. And this one, you can't tell it here, but it is navy and soft seafoam and not black, but it doesn't really showcase on the video. Okay, so I wanted to share those with you guys. Don't forget, you have until the 15th to take advantage of my free class. I don't even know where it went. It ran away. Goodness sakes. Here it is, the free class. $50 purchase, you get the one sheet wonder, you get 8 cards, everything you need to make them, and you can add on the In Your Word stamp set. That offer ends the 15th. Pampered Stamper Retreat is open. All of that is going to be in the link. And don't forget that special offer, Valentine framed art. I have a free PDF tutorial for you guys. I'm going to send it out this weekend to everyone who is on my mailing list. So if you haven't joined my mailing list, you want to hop over there, you are always the first to know, first dibs on a lot of things that I got going on. All right, my loves. Thank you guys all so much for joining me today. I love hanging out with you guys on a Wednesday. And just enjoy your week. Enjoy your week, everybody. And come on back and join me next Wednesday for What's Up, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Bye, guys.